Hi there, it's Liz Yule from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another The Spot Challenge. And this time we have a sketch for you. And this is the sketch. I hope you can see that. Now, I'm recording this ahead of time, and I've already seen a couple of the other inspiration projects over on the website. So we're being a little fluid with the sketch. Let's just say that. So let me get rid of that. And this is the bundle. I was going to say stamp set, but this is the bundle that I'm using. So it's Poinsettia Petals. It's huge, by the way. These images are 65% of the actual size. It's a 2-step stamping set, and it has a set of dies to go with it, which I'll go through in a moment. But let's have a look at these stamps. So you get 2 full sheets of stamps, complete with some really nice sentiments. So may magic and wonder bloom this year. Sorry, this holiday. Warm wishes from our home to yours. Thank you for making this a wonderful season. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, which will make us Brits happy because we do like a Merry Christmas. So that's the stamp set. The dies that go with are amazing. So I'm going to be using this one just to show you how it all works. So you can build your own poinsettia, and you can either stamp and die cut, which is what I'm going to be doing today, or you can die cut and emboss, because these are embossing dies, so you can put them through at the same time. For holly, both the holly leaves, there's a small centre for your poinsettia, in fact 2 small centres for your poinsettia. One does slightly different embossing to the other. There's a die cut for the berries, but there's also a die for the berries, so you can either just die cut or you can stamp and die cut. And there are these kind of embossed bits for the centre. This goes with the piece of pine with the cone at the end. So a really nice big set of dies. There are 18 separate dies. Just saying. So I need this stamp, because that's the stamp that I'm going to show you how I do this, and then I'm going to show you the sample I've made already, and then I will put one together using slightly different papers. So I'm stamping on vellum. I love stamping and heat embossing on vellum. It's a thing, you can do it. You just have to be a little bit careful. I still have an embossing buddy, so I'm going to use it. We are trying very hard to get it back again, but, you know, there are so many things we can achieve, but that unfortunately isn't one of them. So having used my embossing buddy, I do blow any excess off. I've inked up with Versamark, and I'm going to press reasonably hard. Make sure I get a good impression. It does stamp really easily on vellum. So, you know, Versamark is a very sticky ink, and it's going to stamp well on vellum. The key to using vellum with heat embossing is to not overheat. So I always put 2 layers, or no, I don't put 2 layers. I always sprinkle the powder on twice, just in case I've missed anything first time round. So let's bring in my trusty cheese board. I'll go that way round. Just get rid of the excess there. I'm going to heat up my heat gun. While I'm doing that, if you're new to my channel or haven't already done so, you might want to subscribe by clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner. If you're in the UK and want any Stampin' Up products, I would be honoured if you would order through me. I do try very hard to look after my customers. So as you can see, this melts really quickly, and that is what you just need to be aware of. because if you hold your heat tool over your embossing powder as long as you would normally do it, you are going to burn your vellum, and it's going to not be good. And then I can just trim that off, ready to die cut. So pop that away, pop that out of the way, and pop that out of the way. This is nearly dry. Bring over my lovely new cut and emboss. Now I am tending to use it across my workspace. It just works better that way, otherwise the handle's in a kind of, or the plates rather, in an awkward place. Now, what I can show you before I possibly go out of camera is I use washi tape to hold everything in place, and then just work out which way round your die needs to go. It will be obvious once you've got it. We will be getting, although it's not available just yet, a magnetic cutting plate. So that will obviously help keep everything in place. So pop everything on your cut and emboss and run it through. Just like that. So let's just, because we use tape to stick the dies to the packaging, they do have a tendency to then stick to your cutting plate. That's all we need to do to get that off. And then this just pops out. And there is our die cut. But as I said, I have die cut them already. So I've got my 3 poinsettia petals, and I just sort of play with them until I get them in a kind of nice placement. Yeah, that works. I like to just make sure that I've got them so that they're kind of sitting in the gaps between the layers. So I want it that way. Pop a glue dot on the back, and then pop that back on there, and then do the same again for the next layer. Yep, that works. So another glue dot, and that is our basic poinsettia. And there are dies to die cut the centre, but what there's also are these beaded pearls, which are gorgeous. You get 18 in the pack, and they stick on really easily with a glue dot. I'm not going to put it on yet because I want to wait until I know which way round my poinsettia is going. So having made my poinsettia, I really ought to show you the card. So this is the card that I've already made. I'm going to do a slightly different version with different papers. So this is using the In Good Taste paper pack, and it's actually the same paper, it's just the reverse. So we've got this very pale wood grain with this brickwork on the, or tile on the back, and I've mounted it on grey granite and put a piece of grey granite ribbon across the middle. And I'm hoping that if I show you the sketch, you can see that I've basically just shortened the ribbon, but that is being that piece, and I'm using the nested labels instead of a circle. But other than that, it's kind of, you know, it is the what we're expecting it to be. Right, so let me show you what I'm going to use this time. And again, I'm going to use grey granite, but I'm going to use some of the First Frost paper, which was one of the carryover items. That way up, I think. Technically, this doesn't have grey granite in it, but I think it's got basic grey and smoky slate. But I tried smoky slate, and it just doesn't work. Whereas grey granite, I like. So do have a look at grey granite with that. And then this is out of a piece of paper. Let me grab it so you can see, because it's going to be a bit of a surprise, I think. It's this piece of paper, and it's kind of that corner there. So it is, whoops, it is that piece right in the corner there. May have been the other way around, but you get where I'm coming from. So I've just picked out that plain piece from the really patterned piece. So let me pop all this together. I'm going to build from the bottom up. I've got a thick Whisper White card base. So that's just half a sheet folded in half, short and fat, rather than long and thin. And inevitably I buried my bone folder underneath my paper. So that's my card base. I'm not printing anything or stamping anything on the inside at the moment because I don't think you can honestly say that poinsettias are just for Christmas. This would make quite a nice winter card. So particularly as it's in white rather than in the classic red. So I'm not at the moment going definite Christmas. So that's that. I could actually have used liquid adhesive with that, but I didn't. I used seal. I am really liking seal. I think there are still people who are struggling with it a bit. Famous last words, I'm not. You can guarantee I'm going to have a problem with it any second now. But I think it's fine. So let's pop that down. So it's got a narrow border like that. And then I'm going to build on this piece before I stick it all onto the base. So this is where I said I want to make sure I've decided which way my poinsettia is going to sit before I put the beaded pearl on. And no, I think I want it that way. And I'm actually going to use some Seal Plus because I want to make sure this doesn't move. And Seal Plus is pretty good for that. And because we've got lots, I know what I've forgotten. Because we've got lots of layers of vellum, it's not going to show through. I nearly forgot my ribbon, which would not be a good idea. So, and the nested label is the second from largest. Just so you know. Ooh, that's not a very pretty end. Can I cut it again? Actually, no, it's not too bad. It'll do. It will do. And I want the other one to go the same way, so we'll come in that way. And this is the ribbon from the annual catalogue. It was in the last year's autumn winter mini, but it's Seaside Spray metallic ribbon from memory. And I'm again going to use some of the Seal Plus just to make sure that is stuck down well. And there we go. And then I can pop this on top. And as sort of central as I can get it. Don't need those little bits. And a glue dot will stick my beaded pearl on very nicely. So let's pop one of those on. Pop that in the middle. Needless to say, this is not going to go through the UK mail system as a standard letter. This is going to be a large letter stamp. Now, because this is paper, I am going to use more dimensionals than I would under normal circumstances if this were card. What you can use, obviously, if I say obviously, I shouldn't say obviously because it may not be obvious, but you can use your corner bits, your side bits. So don't think you have to use the ones from the middle. You can use edge pieces as well. And in fact, I will use an edge piece to go down the middle. So just so I know that's well supported. And then just peel my backings off. So what I tend to do with a sketch is I have a look at the sketch 3 or 4 times, over a couple of days, possibly, certainly for where I'm on a design team. I'll look at the sketch for a couple of days, and then I'll think about what I'm going to do, look at it one last time, yep, those are all off, and then make the card, which may or may not be a true take on the sketch, because it's what I remember of the sketch, and that way you are not so held solid by the sketch, so you're not so rigid about it. So if you worry about using sketches, that may be something that you might want to look at. Anyway, there you are. Please let me know which you prefer, the one with the tiles and the wood or the one with the first frost. I would love to know, because I can't decide. I like them both for different reasons. So please do let me know in the comments below. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. As I say, if you don't already subscribe, you can do that in the bottom right hand corner, and then hit that alert bell so that you know when I load up a new video. They're not always the same time of day. This one went live at noon UK time, and often I will post at 8 o'clock in the morning UK time. So don't assume that I'm only ever going to post at one time of the day. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave those either below the description bar or over on my website. And for the details of the Spot Challenge and how to enter, which we would love you to do, you can hop over to my website, which is linked in the description bar below. And if you click on the link that says associated blog post, you'll hop over to my website and see the sketch. If you click on the sketch, it will take you to the Spot Challenge website. Thank you very much indeed for joining me again today. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Until then, keep well, keep safe, keep healthy. Bye!